will lead me to the murderer infallibly. Merle Shirley had come up in time to hear most of the colloquy between Enid and Kennedy. At the last he flushed, clenching his fists. "If you can prove who the murderer is, Mr. Kennedy," he exploded, "why don't you apprehend him before someone else meets the fate of Werner?" "I can do nothing until I return to my laboratory this afternoon. I will not know the identity of the guilty person until I complete a chemical analysis." One by one, the various people possibly concerned in the two crimes joined the group. This morning all the faces were serious. Most of them showed the marks of sleeplessness following the second murder. Kennedy walked away, but I saw that Jack Gordon hastened to question both the girls, ignoring their evident dislike for him. Among the others I recognized Watkins, the cameraman, and his associate. Lawrence Millard came in and hastened to the side of Enid. As he drew her away to ask the cause of the gathering, I wondered at his early presence. The scenario writer was typical of them all. The strange and unusual nature of the crimes, the evident relationship between them, had drawn the employees of Manton Pictures to the studio as a crowd of baseball fans collects before a public bulletin board. Not one of them but was afraid of missing some development in the case. In no instance could the interest of a particular individual be taken as an indication of guilt. Phelps entered the studio from the door to the dressing rooms. Disdaining to join the other group, he approached us to ask the cause for the excitement. Kennedy explained patiently, and I saw that Phelps looked at the black bag uneasily. "I hope the guilty party is not a member of the company," he muttered. "Why?" Kennedy's mouth tightened. The financier grew red. "Because this picture has been crippled enough. First a new star, now a new director. If it wasn't so preposterous, I'd believe that it was all part of a deliberate—" He stopped, as if realizing suddenly the inadvisability of vague accusations. "Don't you want to see justice done?" Kennedy inquired. "Of course!" Phelps tugged at his collar uncomfortably. "Of course, Mr. Kennedy!" Then he turned and hurried away, out of the studio. Gordon and Millard detached themselves from the others, coming over. "In which washroom was the towel found, Mr. Kennedy?" Gordon put the question as though he felt himself especially delegated to obtain this information. I wondered how Kennedy would evade a direct answer. To my surprise, he made no attempt to conceal it. "The one on the second floor of the office building." Millard laughed. "That puts it on myself or the big boss." It struck me that the leading man was uneasy as he hurried back to the others. Millard, still smiling, turned to say something to us, but we were joined by Manton, entering from the other side of the big enclosure. "Good morning," the promoter exclaimed, somewhat breathless. "I just learned you were here. Is there some new development? Is there something I can do?" "I see you are not allowing anything to interfere with the making of the picture," Kennedy remarked. "All the people seem to be here bright and early." A shadow crept into Manton's face. It seems almost as cold-blooded as war," he admitted. "But I can't help myself, Mr. Kennedy. The company has no money, and if we don't meet this release, we're busted." All at once he lowered his voice eagerly. "Tell me, have you discovered something? Is there some clue to the guilty man?" "He's found a towel," Millard put in, an expression of half-amusement on his face as he faced the promoter. "In some way it's a clue to the identity of the murderer. An infallible clue, he says. He found it in the washroom by our offices. Since Werner is dead, that points the finger of suspicion at you or me." Manton's jaw dropped. His expression became almost ludicrous, as if the thought that he could possibly be suspected himself was new to him. Millard's eyes sobered a bit at his superior's confusion. "I have a towel with me wrapped up in a paper in this grip," Kennedy went on. "It's so very valuable as a bit of evidence. I wonder if I could borrow a locker so as to keep it under lock and key until we're ready to return to the laboratory." "Sure, of course." Manton glanced about and saw the little knot of people still gathered in the set. "Millard, go over and tell Koff to get busy. He's losing time." Then he turned to us again. "Come on, Mr. Kennedy, we have some steel lockers out by the property room." As we started across the floor, I could see that Kennedy was framing a question with great care. "Do you ever use snakes in films, Mr. Manton?" he asked. "Why, no." The promoter stopped in his surprise. That is not if we ever can help it. I mean, the censorship won't pass anything with snakes. You have used them, though. Yes, we made a short-length special subject. Nothing but snakes. Manton became enthusiastic. It was a wonder, too. A pet film of mine. We made it with the direct cooperation and supervision of the greatest authority on poisonous snakes in the country, Dr. Nagoya of Castleton Institute. End of chapter 25. Read by Lisa Wilson. www.lisawilson-voices.com